Wagwan everybody, big up on yourself. To all of my subscribers, them big up on yourself. And I don't know the thing go already. So today we are the one look a day trip with the girls them go over Carriacou. In this video, we'll be taking a day trip leaving from the Carriacou in St. George to board the Osprey, a public ferry boat that takes about an hour and a half to get to Hillsborough. Not only are we in Grenada to have a grand time, we're also here to educate ourselves, and we should be leaving Grenada wiser than when we arrived. For those who don't know, Grenada is made up of 3 main islands, Grenada, the largest, plus Carriacou and Petite Martinique, and several other small islands which are part of the Grenadines. There are 2 ways to get from Grenada to Carriacou. You can book a flight or take the ferry. Today, we're taking the ferry to meet our local tour guide to get an island tour of Carriacou and learn, see, and do as much as we can.
Oh. Any taxi?
Right. Good morning. Are you looking for a taxi?
Hi.
You with me? Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. You are?
Nelly. The rest of them is right now.
Okay. I'm calling. Oh, you messing with me?
Kelly? Yeah. Kelly, right here.
Call me name.
We got all our names in here.
Yeah, got your name right here. Good morning, welcome.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Can you put your net here?
Can you hold it up for us?
No.
Guys, I'm going to go use the restroom real quick, okay?
No problem. You got it?
Thank you.
Of the 9,004. 4 is because the 4 of you are here, and you need to be accounted for.
Hey.
Right?
Okay.
Welcome to the island. Where we are now, we are at the southern side of the island. We are on the southern side. It is known as Harveyville, given name Tyrrell Bay. Tyrrell Bay is actually the beach area, going all the way up, right? Harveyville is what the original name is. So, on the island of Carriacou, the main language is English. Size of the island, 13 square miles. Population now stands officially 9,004. We are known for boat building and big jump dancing. This is the storage area for the gasoline. There's only one fuel truck. If you see that yellow bunker, there's an orange one. That's where the tanker comes in. That outer hose connects to this concrete slab where the fuel goes into those tanks. Right? Now the area straight over here is Carriacou. It is owned by one of the most prominent families on the island here, which is the Alexis family. They've owned most of the boats that travel into Ireland.
Are they black?
Yeah. Let me just explain this to you. 95% of our business places are owned and operated by the locals.
Good.
This is the Alexis food store. It's the biggest supermarket on the island of Carriacou. Right? Now, as you can see, there was a lot of rain last night and this morning.
Yeah, from the rain, yeah.
Now we don't have any running rivers, lakes or streams, so we rely on the rain when it comes for water, right?
Yes.
The main religion around here is the Catholic religion. Catholic, got it. Followed by the Anglican, which is known as the Church of England in England, because when Sir Henry VIII wanted to get divorced as a Catholic, he couldn't, so they built a church inside of the church, which is known as the Church of England, commonly known as Anglican around here. This used to be one of the biggest houses in this area, this big cream house right here.
Yeah, okay.
It was owned by the man by the name of Mr. Tyrrell Frank. This area was named after him, Tyrrell Bay. He was a boat builder, captain of a boat, he played steel pan, and he was well known.
Was that a sport or an instrument?
Steel pan. He was well
steel
known.
pan?
Yeah.
Okay.
In every community, what you can find, it's Harveyville, right? And the main flower of the Side Island state is known as bougainvillea. But we on the island of Carriacou, we respect or we recognize what we call the flamboyant as a flower. Yeah. And everywhere you go, you're going to see the red, the gold, and the green. So most of it are fresh, some is a bit dark, but we are close to independent. Independent on the 7th of February 1974. This is St. Lawrence Roman Catholic Church. This is the Harveyville area. Now, you're going to see, let me show you what it is. A lot of animals, they're not straight animals, they have the owners, but they allow them to graze, right?
Yeah.
Now this green flower that is on the, this green thing that is on the fence with the pink flower right here.
Yeah.
It is a lot of folks, locals call it cemetery vine or snake bush.
Okay.
But the appropriate word for it is Carriacou.
Okay.
That's what the Scottish folks brought in when they were burying the loved ones, to just push out a bit of the impact. It becomes somewhat of a parasite because it's grown all over. I think that we have more cemeteries here and there than houses.
Yeah.
But when you see the houses, the big houses, they were built back in the late 80s and 90s when folks came back from the US, the UK.
Yeah.
Mainly the UK, because back in those times you could have gotten at least $4 EC in exchange for £1. But the pound now, I think that it has the same exchange rate as the US dollar.
Oh, okay.
There are 5 primary schools on the island of Carriacou. They're government schools. You can identify the kids based on what school they attend to, because look at the color of the uniform. Right?
Yeah.
There is no total girls' school or total boys' school. It's a combination of boys and girls.
Okay.
Officially, we can stop the tour here
Yeah.
if I can't get a correct answer.
Yeah.
So let's see who can connect to the Wi-Fi, because I'm your Wi-Fi. Take a look at the cemetery to your left. What you see there? There's a tomb. What does it depict? What it looks like to you?
Looks like a ship.
All right. And what else you can see in the ship? Steel pen and what else? All right. So I mentioned someone just a few minutes back that they named that area after.
That's his grave.
Yes.
The guy that owned the big house.
Right. And what's his name?
Tilden.
Oh, all right. You're good. Tilfa. So he's not, for me, he's not laid to rest. I consider him to be a dry dock. He's a boat. So whenever he's fully prepared, then he can go and sail again. So this school was built on the site where the whole estate of plantation owner lived, because the estate owner lived on the top of the hill where he could have looked down at the those kids, you have 5 primary schools and 2 secondary schools, right?
Yeah.
We're going to get to another community. It is known as Belmont. Belmont simply means beautiful mountain.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And we almost always drive through the middle of cemeteries, because families would have allocated their lands to bury their loved ones when they go on the Great Beyond, right?
Yeah.
Our cuisine is totally different to that of mainland Grenada. Our main dish here is known as saraka. Grenada loves oil down. Grenadians love Glasgow rum, but we love jack iron. Right? This is the David's family cemetery. See how close it is to the street?
Yeah.
We're into Belmont. Belmont is one of the smallest communities, and it's very quiet because the kids are after school and the grown folks are after work. You'll probably find 1 or 2 persons who are. It's not like mainland Grenada, you're going to see a lot of folks wandering around the street.
Yeah.
No. I'm going to stop here. I don't think it's that much overcast now. Where you guys came in is at the Caribbean Sea. This is the Atlantic side, eh?
Yeah.
Over here. Let's see. It's come down, right here. Okay, if you take a look to your right, you're going to see some mountains, but way at the back there's something white. It's a bigger mountain. You seen it?
Yeah.
That's mainland Grenada. In particular, the western side. It is said that Grenada is some 20 miles away from Carriacou. Not in relation to from port to port, but in relation from that point, that closest point, to the closest point, to Grenada. What separates us is underwater volcanic activity known as Kikemjeni. So there's a underwater volcano.
Yeah, that's what they told me. That's why the sea is rough, right?
Right. Just when you get to that point, and then when you get to the open water as well. Now the island here with the white sand is known as White Island. It's more of a deserted island. To the back of it are just merely quays where the fisher folks go and make a living by a chamel net and fish traps and all that. But White Island has a good thing going for like you ladies. Let's say you go over, have fun, had too much to drink. If you have your boyfriend, your fiance, whatever, your husband, it's like Vegas. What happens in... So that has nothing to do with it. Two things you can do though. The first thing that you do, whatever garbage that you have, you need to take it over and discard of the garbage. And if you want to leave your memories, then you do so. If you want to come with it, you come with it. But never the garbage. But whatever happens over there, stays over there. Two ways they can get over. You can't. I don't think that you ladies can walk on water. So if you want to swim across, feel free. But there's a water taxi service going over. The cemetery down here, that's the Alexis family cemetery, right here. All right, and all that land down there is owned by the Alexis family on that side. That's Hermitage.
The one that owns the grocery shop?
Grocery shop, yeah. The dad, granddad, great-granddad, he was more of a estate owner, plantation owner. And then during those days, folks didn't purchase these places. They acquired them based on knowledge and based on, you know. It's now that the persons know the true value of lands now. So most folks are trying to administrate and give to their kids or to sell and go. But a long time ago, persons would have just, let's say your mom passed away, all of this land was hers. Like the estate owner, so somebody had a lot of knowledge. What I would do, I would bury your mom because you don't have that finance, and then take the property in exchange for that. And then you were so grateful because you had little or no knowledge. Like me, I remember when I had a little or no understanding. Year 2000, they said that was the world was like talk about the coronavirus and all these things. Designed by Gates and most folks the blue barrels that shipped from the US with dry goods, any way or any method that you can use to store the water. These are the things that makes a good soup. But corn, a lot of corn, mainly love the corn when it's roasted. Right? Now we're in Bellevue South. Bellevue South is the largest community on the island of Carriacou, but it's the smallest in population. We're gonna look at these rocks right here. Let me show you something. You see this construction that is happening right here? Right here. This is the cistern. That's what is built first. And then the house is placed on top of it. So when the water comes from the roof, there's a spouting that goes down into the cistern. Alright? And it's rainwater, that's all we drink. But for me, I don't drink that now. One of the reasons that was a volcanic activity in St. Vincent just recently, and a couple of years ago in Montserrat. So they have some Sahara dust that comes and it settles on top of the roof, and then whenever it rains, all of that goes down to the cistern. So what it does overnight, it upsets the tummy. It's just like, let's say you guys came from the US, right? You're accustomed to like bottled water, and if you were to use the water from the hotel to drink, it may upset you a bit because different minerals and stuff. Put a lot of chlorine in it as well. Now you see the rocks over here? That's Sabazan. That's where we sun mined a lot of years ago before the government would have prohibited sun mining, right? And Sabazan is really in what you call, it's an area that has 4 areas in one, so I'm going to identify that here. But first, take a look at this house. It was built in 1907. house here, the oldest house. Little strange about it, except the windows. They put the more modernized windows, but the wooden door, that's the door, because they were built from cedar wood, and then you have the shingles. This would have sustained Hurricane Janet in 1955,
Wow.
and Hurricane Ivan and Emily in 2004, 2005 respectively.
The littlest house.
This one here. Normally when you get one of those postcards, those gift cards where you just sign something and you can post it, you don't have to put it in an envelope, you will see this one. And it's the best kept one on the island. Around here there's a lot of goats, sheep, cows, donkeys. They live in the bush. They have their owners, but only when it rains they come out. Because when the water goes to the drain, they comes up to have that water to drink for survival, because there is not a pond around here that the animals can go to whenever they need water to drink. This Bellevue South, most of the folks here are from Carriacou but lived in the UK. So when they came back, they built the big houses, and most of the houses are just have one occupant, in some cases none. Right? And just in case that you would ask, if there's any crime on the island, yes. But our crime rate is very low. Because like I said, we're just about 9,004. So everyone knows everyone. It's not by name, by face. Right? That's the reason we only have one of everything. One Junie, seriously. One ambulance, one fire brigade, one hospital, one museum, one shoemaker shop, one photo studio, one airport, one gas station, one police station, one magistrate court.
Everybody know everybody.
Everybody knows everybody.
Everybody.
Funeral parlor. There's only one funeral parlor. So I like to say this to folks. We may have differences in political affiliation and religious beliefs, but what we all have in common, because there's only one funeral parlor, we all dying to get there.
Yeah.
Okay?
We're gonna get there.
We're dying to get there. All this is still there, this okay? You can see those like papers down there. You can see that. I'll show you when you get down. You see like the white papers like right down here. That's the disposal site. Alright. All of the garbage in Carriacou, and by extension that of Petit Martinique, has been disposed here. We don't burn the garbage. They dig holes and they bury it up, right? So that is known as Dumfries. That's Sabazan around the point. And then you can look at the land where it's designed, you can see those are corn there. So this Sabazan area is this is what they used to have here. There was a quarry, they used to blast stones here. But the government would have stopped that because the vibration of the dynamite would have shook some houses. And it's a disposal area, it's an agricultural area, it's a commercial area as well because persons do business there. It's also a residential area. The building there with the old rusty galvanized, is a chimney at the back. It's the old lime factory because we used to process lime juice and export it. Remember I said that our main crops before used to be cotton, lime and sugar. Now it's corn on the cob, watermelons and pigeon peas. So I'm not going to be surprised if 5 years from now or next decade or next generation from now it's going to be cannabis, because you know you have different generation, and within that generational gap there are changes. Right? That bottom, yeah. So they get much bigger than that. Right? Folks on the mainland, there's a tank on the top, right? There's a food for the poor community project. Essentially what it means is capital. Now, we have a task at present government, so with the memorandum of understanding. But what they built, first they built the Lauriston Mini Cricket Stadium in 2007. When we as a Caribbean nation hosted what you call the Cricket World Cup. Yeah. And then they built where you guys came in, the new port of entry. And this is the third project. You'll probably see some of these in Grenada when you travel. No, the housing scheme. So that tank was built to serve these units. I don't think dangerous because the accidents, the ladies were here when you had a rental car. You could have the right of it, but you could be dead wrong. You could be wrong, but dead wrong as well. Why? It's because this is where 6 roads meet each other. But there is nothing that says to sensitize you, stop, faith, and highlight. Right, so that's why it's so dangerous. 6 roads cross. Now, let me explain this to you. Road number 1, we came from the boat. Number 2, this one is Fair Hill to take you back to the school. This one is going to take you back to Carriacou, back to the boat. This one is going to take you to the town. This one is going to take you to the biggest cemetery in the island. And this one takes you to Dumfries, Sabazan. Alright? This is where, this building up here is a Clear Marital College, community college. So when you acquire your formal secondary education, whatever you acquire, they're doing courses. As long as they're doing it here, you don't have to go to mainland Grenada. In that way, it's less costly for the parent for transportation and accommodation. You ladies, I don't know which one of you are married, which one of you intended to get some who's engaged, but I can tell you this: you will fall in love again while you're here, not with someone else, but what you see, what we have to offer in terms of our hospitality, you know, our beaches, you know, you'll fall in love. So that, remember I mentioned the corn and the cup, right? Yeah. So you're going to see it here first, and that's what they're doing here. They're roasting it here. Right? And this is what the locals know. So corn, we have a coal pan, and that's the corn here. So they're roasting it. Morning.
Good morning.
This is the Golden Rock Kids Club. Take kids any age. Like newborn, go right up, and you know that once a month, twice a child. So if you're at your senior age and you're wearing pampers, you're considered to be a kid again. Okay? Now on the island of Carriacou, this is what the palm trees look like. Those green trees. On the island of Carriacou, we got 3 major hotels, and the others are merely guest houses. Right? But I know that folks probably would see something different to what I would explain. It's quite natural that you give places a different name than what was explained to you, because I know one of you are going to say, no, it's not that, right? It's something else. That's quite natural. When we get there, I'll explain that to you. Now, ladies, I know that someone is going to rename it, but that's quite natural. This is the biggest guest house on the island of Carriacou.
The blue?
This area.
Cemetery.
You see what I said? What I said it was? What did I say it was? And you say it's a cemetery.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you why it's a guest house. This is the only place on the island where you can check in, but you can't check out. Right? Now these 2 that you see there, these came from the UK and the US. And these here from like 2000 coming forward. Right? This is the only place that even though you won't speak in when you're alive, as family members or, you know, just as citizens, nobody is disturbing anyone, nobody is making any noise, nobody kid is disturbing, they all live in peace here. And the 1st and 2nd of November respectively, what we have is All Saints and All Souls. Lighting up the candles. The hardest thing in the island here is to get a woman to be your girlfriend or your wife. Why? Because every time you see a beautiful woman that you're interested in, whenever you come to the cemetery here, there's always somebody in the family. Oh, Judy, you know this is your cousin, that's Tanti. So you always get yourself acquainted with, like, I just fell in love with this girl. I just love to see her, but now she's my cousin, you know what? After we think this.
Yeah,
so
that's what I was telling them.
Yeah, you look at someone else again. Oh, this is your
cousin from the other side.
Now, this is the older part of the cemetery. There's a big thing when you pass away. They have the night before the actual burial. They have something that you call a wake, where everybody goes to that place and eat and drink.
They will call it 9 nights.
Now, this cemetery, I don't know. Everyone's. What time is it? Okay. So we're gonna go from Hillsborough. We're gonna go to Bel Air and come down, and you guys take a look here. To your left. Building with the white chimney. The island. The other building is a private owned health center, Carriacou Health Services. digging out the cemetery right here.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm just saying that, but when they built the tomb, they didn't dig hole, they just rested on top. So as the water comes down overnight, it, you know, it's right here. Now that's the town of Hillsborough. So this is a perfect view of the old inner and outer harbour, because up until 7 years ago, this is where the boat came to that bit. And there was no facility that when you came in and you wanted to use the restroom, there was no restroom. That's why we was taking down this and we have that facility to accommodate the folks who come. It's not associated with us. It's Union Island. Union Island. Right. So mainland St. Vincent, Beckwith, Mayo, Musty, Canawan, Union Island. Two ways you can get over. You can go over up the Congress, or you have to take the second way. You click customs and we have 3 radio stations on the island, this being one of them. This is our radio station. Right, and then you have Vibe FM, which is Kim, and then you have Harbour Light, which is located in Mount Pleasant. It's a gospel-owned radio station. Now, this is the biggest Anglican church on the island. It's Christ the King Anglican Church. It was built in 1853. This is what caused the separation between Sir Henry VIII. That's why they built that. Right? They own one of our secondary schools on the island. There are 2 secondary schools on the island. One is the Hillsborough Secondary School. That's given name now. But the first name when it opened its doors in 1971 was Junior Sec. This is Church Street. Most of our streets are they are really one-way streets because of the size of the roads, and you have big size of big vehicles. So as you can see, the vehicle is coming up.
Yeah.
This section is 2nd Avenue. In the town of Hillsborough, you got 6 streets and 2 avenues, right?
Yeah.
And this 2nd Avenue, I do believe that they have more churches on the island than believers. Right? This is an Adventist church, not a 7-day Adventist, but an Adventist church. As you can see, welcome to Hillsborough Adventist Church. This one is an evangelical church. Going across, you have a Pentecostal church. And then going down, you have a 7-day Adventist church. And you pass the Anglican church and you see the Catholic church. Well, the main religion is the Catholic religion. This open area of the concept.
Yeah.
This is the Hillsborough recreational ground. This is where we play every discipline of sport. Our main sport on the island is known as cricket, followed by football. I mean, if you're from the US, you probably understand football as the NFL by soccer. Then we have track and field. And as we speak, we have the Olympic 400 meters champion from our very own Carriacou James is from here, Grenada. And then we have Anderson Peters, which is the javelin. I think he's a world champion, reigning world champion. This is the Hillsborough Secondary School, and like I said, there is no total girl or boy school. Look at the uniform, it's great. And then this is the Pentecostal church, right? And the green building across is the Bishop's College, that's owned by the Anglican Church. Then we have the health center here, the Hillsborough Smart Health Center. What makes it smart is now that you have computer and all that, but you don't have any equipment like for x-rays or surgery right here. We're going down, and we're going down to this is Middle Street, right?
Yeah.
And this is how the teachers dress in their own little attire. They're not uniformed, like unlike the kids are uniformed. Yeah. Of Middle Street and 1st Avenue. This is 1st Avenue. It's a long way up, right? It's 1st Avenue, and this is Middle Street. So Middle Street, 1st Avenue, right? Like I say, all of the hotels here are owned by the locals, right? Yeah. All of the but this is the town.
Okay.
Right? And as you see, well, most of our produce is locally, whether it's from Carriacou or GRENADA. Sometimes if the farmers can't produce that for the locals, then we go outside in places like St. Vincent. But it's not like mainland Grenada where you'd have to ask to be excused walking on the sidewalk. With the vendors normally. This is the only museum here, the yellow building. The only museum. Only gas station. Say Sol. Right? Yeah. It's Carriacou Street. Right? There are two commercial banks here. One is a homegrown bank, it's Grenada Cooperative Bank, and the other one is International Bank, the public bank. There are 3 cash points in the town. So these folks are in the cash point. There are some credit unions. Western Union, take it to the right. The public bank, and the Blue National is where the ATM is. The administrative building is right here, the government where you have the Inland Revenues, Public Works Department, and the General Post Office. Right? The Grenada Tourism Authority is located right here. The only police station is right here. We have one magistrate. Courtly magistrate comes here every 3rd Monday in the month. Unless there is any, activity like festival going on. This is the boat came in over 7 years. So the blue building used to be in the customs and port building. As you can see, just when the boat came in, you walk off. You can see it says the Regatta Jupa because we have 4 festivals. First is Carnival. It's held after we celebrate our independence celebration, but before the Catholic has the Lenten period. If you look up at the back here, you're going to see the second door coming from your right is Carriacou. Right?
Okay, yeah.
So that's why we have Carnival. This is the town. This is Bowling Supermarket, and that was established, the longest serving supermarket, established in 1947. Then this building right here with the wooden one, built in 1907 as well. It's Patty's Deli, but when it was built, it was taken away via donkey and donkey cart, taken to the northern side of the island, which was Windward, because we didn't have vehicles at those times. And by 1915, the same process taken by donkey and donkey cart, we built the building, made a further expansion of the building, and they placed a deli below. The name of the deli is Patty's Deli. Patty's Deli in recognition of the owner of that place is Patty, so they named the building just after. So this is the only gas station. Just want to make sure we get there. It's a doctor office in the town. The lady said no, don't run over you. I was like, the lady said no, don't run over you. I'm about to run over you. Alright? Alright. Photographers now, everybody take a selfie in the pool. You got more?
I just want to say big up to all of my subscribers. Them. Soon, Thanks for watching the video.
So, to the hospital for me, it's a must stop. Persons, when they come here and they change the name of the place. Most persons say, wow, or oh my God. But if you said, oh my God, God is not there, you're not in heaven. Probably should be making mention of. time and recreate themselves, and initially mentioned, start the conversation of carnival.
Oh wow, I need a phone for this. It's mad nice over there. Wow. This is gorgeous.
That's it. The water tank that they put in, and they put the roof so you can catch cold water. They want to catch
Who was the best cook?
the other one in the back. The other one in the back there, it's called hypnosis hostel. But in those days, we had nothing no section.
Yeah, Cherie got the
Nowadays,
best one.
every worker, every doctor, every
together.
Yeah.
using that building, you know, like this is why he's married to a lady from here. They started the same school. Married
ready?
to somebody from here.
Let's make a
That's the only stuff that we
come
have.
together.
Just send the island right there.
They all graduate from October 1907 as an isolation. Proportionally to infected yellow fever and cholera.
Yeah.
So it wasn't built here for the view. It was built to separate the infected one from the general population.
No.
When it was built,
What
it was
do you
built
tell
for
yourself
the
when you
capacity
see this
of
camera?
population.
What do you tell yourself when you see
We need to have to recognize that.
Then they moved up here because they couldn't have reached way
Good
down there.
boy. Good boy.
The visits of Princess Royal at that time was Princess Mary.
Good boy.
Every day they have the biggest success Royal Hospital.
Boy. Because
In 2000.
What's the name of it again?
It's a pond.
Okay.
It's a natural spring pond.
Okay.
This is supposed to be the botanical garden, but there's no tree